You ever met a woman who walks into a room like she's a goddess, expecting every man to bow at her feet? Like she's the prize and you're just another contestant in her little game? You've seen it before. Women so full of themselves that they treat men like disposable tools, only good for feeding their ego. But here's the raw truth. They don't start out this way. Men create them. Weak men. Desperate men. Men who hand over their power just for a crumb of attention. And if you don't understand how to carry yourself as a high-value man, you'll be just another pawn in their game. So how do you flip the script? How do you make sure that when you speak, she listens? Not out of arrogance, but out of respect? Well, that's exactly what I'm about to break down. These are the unspoken rules that real men, men of discipline, men of power, use to command respect and destroy the inflated egos of entitled women. And if you understand Stoicism, you already know. A man who masters himself, masters everything. Now, if you really want to learn these rules and, more importantly, how to use them, stick around till the end of the video. Hey, this is James. I'm here to help you develop a Stoic mindset to master your relationships with women and take control of your dating life. If you're ready to level up, hit that subscribe button now. So let's get into it. Rule number 7, stop feeding her ego. Make her earn your validation. Let's get one thing straight. Women swim in validation every single day. The second she steps outside, she's hit with compliments. Some random guy at the coffee shop tells her she's gorgeous. A coworker subtly flirts with her. Her DMs are flooded with thirsty messages from dudes she's never even met. And you know what happens? She starts believing she's above most men. Not because she's some goddess, but because men treat her like one. They hand her power on a silver platter, no effort required. This is exactly why so many women develop inflated egos. It's not just natural, it's engineered. Men create this monster by constantly showering them with attention and validation they haven't even earned. So, if you want to stand out, if you want to be the kind of man who commands respect instead of begging for it, you need to do something different. Think about it. If you're doing the same thing as every other guy, why would she see you as special? If you're constantly trying to impress her, complimenting her nonstop, putting her on a pedestal, you're not standing out. You're just blending into the noise. And here's the brutal truth. Validation doesn't make her like you. It makes her see you as disposable. You're boosting her ego, making her think she's untouchable, and worst of all, you're lowering your own value in her eyes. Women don't chase what they can easily have. They don't respect men who worship them. But the moment they meet a man who doesn't play into their ego, who isn't desperate for their attention, something shifts. That's when they realize that all the compliments, all the simping, they mean nothing. A high-value man doesn't give away his validation for free. He doesn't chase approval. And because of that, when he does give a compliment, it actually matters. If you're going to compliment a woman, make it count. Forget about her looks. She's heard that a million times. Instead, challenge her. Mention something deeper. Her ambition, her intelligence, her mindset. Something she wasn't expecting. This is where Stoicism comes in. A Stoic man isn't controlled by emotions. He isn't led by desire. And he sure as hell doesn't seek approval from women. He understands that his value isn't dictated by anyone but himself. And when you start living by that principle, something incredible happens. Women stop seeing you as just another guy and start seeing you as the man they can't ignore. Want to know more? Keep watching, because we're only getting started. Rule number 6, never be too available. Make her earn your time. A lot of guys make the fatal mistake of always being there, answering her texts instantly, canceling plans for her, and making her their top priority. They think this will make her see them as caring and devoted. But in reality, it does the opposite. It kills attraction. See, the brutal truth is, people don't value what comes too easy. Think about the last time you got something without any effort. Maybe a freebie, a handout, or a favor you didn't even ask for. Did you appreciate it? Probably not. Because it required no investment from you. Women work the same way. If you're always available, always eager, always waiting for her next move, she won't see you as a high-value man. She'll see you as an option, a backup plan, a doormat. Women naturally chase what feels just out of reach. It's wired into them. They're drawn to men who are in demand, men who have things going on, men who don't just drop everything for them. But if you make yourself too easy, too predictable, too accessible, she won't feel the need to earn your time. And the moment your time becomes cheap, your value drops in her eyes. Scarcity creates desire. Think about luxury brands. Why do people spend thousands on a Rolex when a $20 watch tells time just as well? Because it's rare, it's exclusive. Not everyone can have it. The same applies to you. If you're always there, always at her beck and call, she won't respect your time. But if you show her that you have a life, ambitions, and priorities that come first, she'll start seeing you in a whole new way. Now don't get it twisted. This isn't about playing childish, hard-to-get games. It's about being a man on a mission. A Stoic man doesn't seek external validation. He doesn't crave attention. He doesn't bend his will to please a woman, because he understands that his purpose comes first. When you truly embrace this mindset, something powerful happens. You stop chasing, and she starts pursuing. She starts wondering why you're not always available. She starts thinking about what you're doing. She feels the void your absence creates. And in that void, desire grows. Most guys don't realize this, but women test men constantly, and not with words, but with actions. If she pulls away, delays a response, or suddenly acts distant, she's watching to see how you react. Do you panic? Do you double text? Do you immediately try to fix things? If you do, you fail the test. A man who is too available is a man who is too dependent. And a dependent man is a weak man. A high-value man understands that his time is precious. He doesn't give it away to just anyone. He makes her earn it. And because of that, when he does give her attention, it actually means something. Rule number 5. Don't over-focus on her. A man with options is a man with power. Imagine this. You're on a date with a beautiful woman. You're sitting across from her, eyes locked in, hanging on to her every word. You keep complimenting her. Wow, you're so gorgeous. I've never met someone like you before. You must get compliments all the time. You think you're impressing her. You think you're making her feel special. But what's actually happening? Her ego is inflating like a hot air balloon. She's sitting there soaking in the attention, and in the back of her mind, a dangerous thought starts forming. This guy is way too into me. He must not have many options. And just like that, you've lost all power in the interaction. Here's what most guys don't realize. Women are addicted to attention. They get it constantly, online, at the gym, at work, even just walking down the street. Every day, guys are lining up to validate them. So when you make her the center of your universe, you're not standing out. You're blending in. You're just another guy feeding her ego. Women don't respect men who worship them. They respect men who command respect. And a man who commands respect is a man who knows his value doesn't come from a woman's approval. Instead of fixating on her like she's the only woman in the world, shift your mindset. Make her work for your attention instead of handing it over for free. Keep the energy balanced. Don't let her feel like she's the prize while you're just the lucky guy who got a chance. Show her, subtly, that you have options. Now, this doesn't mean being rude or ignoring her completely, but it does mean that you're not acting like a desperate fanboy. Here's how you do it. Be aware of your surroundings. Notice other women in the room, make casual observations, and don't act like she's the only one that exists. Hold strong eye contact, but don't overdo it. Look at her, but don't lock in like a hungry wolf. Confidence is knowing when to look away. Be comfortable with pauses in conversation. Don't rush to fill every silence. Let her feel the need to impress you too. When you're not hyper-focused on her, she starts to feel something unusual. Doubt. Wait, why isn't he drooling over me like every other guy? And that's when you become different. That's when you stand out. The ancient Stoics understood something that most modern men forget. Attachment leads to suffering. If your sense of self-worth is tied to her approval, she owns you. You become emotionally fragile, reactive, and desperate for validation. A true Stoic man? He doesn't need constant affirmation from a woman. He operates from a position of internal strength, knowing that his value isn't determined by someone else's attention. When you embrace this mindset, women can feel it. They sense that you're not like other men who crumble under their beauty, and that is irresistibly attractive. A woman should enhance your life, not be the center of it. By not over-focusing on her, you keep the dynamic in your favor. You become the challenge instead of the pursuer. And that's when she starts chasing you. All right, let's pause for a second. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the number one mistake you see guys making when talking to women? Or better yet, if you're ready to level up, type this in the comments. I talk like a high-value man. Let's see how many of you are stepping up. I'll be reading and replying, so don't hold back. Rule number 4, never get jealous. A man who reacts loses. Picture this. You're out with a woman you like. Everything seems to be going well until she starts acting differently. She's a little more distant, laughing a bit too much at another guy's jokes or casually mentioning how some dude at the gym was hitting on her. What do? Most men make the critical mistake of falling right into her trap. They start sulking, interrogating her, or even worse, getting defensive. And just like that, they fail the test. Here's the brutal truth. Women test men to measure their strength. It's not always conscious, but deep down, they want to see what you're made of. A high-value man, the kind they're instinctively drawn to, isn't fazed by petty games. But a weak man, he crumbles the moment he feels threatened. And once she senses weakness, respect goes out the window. This is why jealousy is a deadly sin for men. It signals insecurity, and women are biologically wired to reject weak men. It feeds her ego. She starts thinking, if he's this afraid of losing me, I must be out of his league. It makes you look reactive instead of in control, and a man who lacks control over himself can never control his life. Instead of reacting emotionally, stay ice cold. If she flirts with another guy, smile, lean back, and act like you didn't even notice. If she brings up other men, reply with something smooth and detached. That's cute. Then move on. If she pulls away for attention, give her even more space. Let her wonder why you're not chasing. And here's what happens next. The moment she realizes she can't get a reaction from you, she starts questioning herself. Why isn't he jealous? Does he not care? Does he have other options? That little game she was playing, it backfires. Instead of making you insecure, she's now the one feeling uncertain. Jealousy is the ultimate loss of control, and a Stoic man never lets external forces dictate his emotions. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." What does this mean? It means that her actions don't define you, your reaction does. A woman's behavior is her own responsibility. If she's playing mind games, let her. You stay calm, composed, and focused on what matters, yourself. The moment you adopt this mindset, something shifts. You stop fearing loss. And paradoxically, that's when you become a man she doesn't want to lose. A man who reacts loses. A man who remains unshaken wins. Women don't admire men who fold under pressure. They admire men who stand firm, who exude confidence, who don't flinch in the face of their tests. So next time she tries to make you jealous, remember, she's not looking for a reaction. She's looking for proof that you're the man she should respect. Give her that proof. Rule number 3. Stop seeking her approval. The moment you do, you lose. Imagine this. You're texting a woman you like, and every message you send is carefully crafted to impress her. You hesitate before hitting send, thinking, will she like this? Will she find me funny? Should I say something else? Or maybe you're on a date, constantly looking for signs of approval, checking if she's laughing at your jokes, if she's impressed by what you say, if she's giving you that look of admiration. But here's the harsh truth. The moment you start seeking her approval, You become just another faceless guy in the crowd. Because in her eyes, you're not a man, just another fan. A lot of men make the critical mistake of fishing for validation. They subtly or blatantly seek compliments, hoping she'll tell them they're handsome, funny, or interesting. They ask questions like, "Do you think I look good in this? Do you think I'm your type? Did you have fun with me today?" These might seem harmless, but subconsciously they send a message. I need your approval to feel good about myself. And the moment she senses that, game over. Because the men women truly respect, admire, and crave don't need their validation. They don't ask if they're attractive, they know they are. They don't need reassurance that the date is going well, they assume it is. They don't beg for attention, they command it effortlessly. If you need a woman's approval to feel worthy, you're already playing the game wrong. Your value isn't dictated by how she sees you, it's dictated by how you see yourself. A high-value man understands this at his core. He moves through life with a sense of purpose, confidence, and conviction. He doesn't wait for others to validate him. He validates himself. He dresses well because he respects himself, not because he hopes she'll notice. He hits the gym because he demands strength from himself, not because he wants her to call him hot. He speaks with authority because he believes in his words, not because he's looking for her to agree. And this is what separates men who get women effortlessly from those who constantly chase them. The ancient Stoics had a simple rule: a man must be his own source of strength. Epictetus once said, "How long will you wait before you demand the best of yourself?" A real man doesn't wait for someone else to tell him he's enough. He doesn't rely on external validation to feel complete. He is already whole. Seeking a woman's approval is like giving her the power to define your worth. And once she has that power, she'll start losing interest, because no woman wants to be with a man she can control like a puppet. Instead, be the man who moves forward without hesitation, the man who knows who he is and doesn't ask for permission to be it. A woman will never truly respect a man who begs for her validation. She might entertain him, she might even humor him, but deep down, she'll never see him as the man. So stop seeking approval. Stop waiting for her to tell you that you're worthy. Decide for yourself, because the moment you stop needing her validation is the moment she starts chasing yours. Rule number 2, never let your emotions control you. Master yourself. Master the game. Picture this. You're with a woman, everything is fine, and suddenly, she switches. She gets moody, distant, or starts an argument out of nowhere. Most men react in one of two ways. 1, they engage trying to reason with her, defend themselves, or fix the situation. 2, they panic, over-apologizing and seeking her approval. Both are mistakes. A man in control? He does neither. A woman's emotions are like the ocean, always shifting. If you fight the waves, they'll pull you under. But if you stand firm, they break against you. When she acts out, don't get pulled in. Stay calm. Let her emotions pass. Don't argue or justify yourself. If she's being unreasonable, say, "We'll talk when you've calmed down," and walk away. The moment you let her dictate your mood, she loses respect for you. But if she sees you're unshaken, you become something rare, a man she can't manipulate. Women constantly test men, often without realizing it. When she throws drama your way, she's watching. Will he break? Will he get emotional? Will he let me control him? If the answer is yes, you lose. But if you remain composed, she'll respect you more. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You can't control her emotions, but you can control your reaction. A high-value man doesn't get pulled into chaos. He stays grounded. He is the rock, not the water. Women don't want a man who's easily shaken. They want a man who stands firm, no matter the storm. Next time she tests you, remember, stay in control. Master yourself, and you master the game. Rule number 1, don't get too excited about her. When you meet a new girl, it's totally normal to want to know more about her, but it's important to take things slow. If you rush in too quickly, you might accidentally boost her ego and make her feel like she's the most important thing in the room. Instead, stay calm and keep your cool. Ask her simple questions about her life, her hobbies, and her interests. Let her open up and share things with you. By doing this, you show her that you have your own life and are not just focused on getting her attention. When you stay relaxed and don't act too eager, she won't feel like the center of your world. If she starts thinking she's being worshipped, she could lose respect for you and might even start ignoring you. If you found these tips on how high-value men communicate with women powerful, you're going to love 6 questions that will make a woman crazy about you. In that video, we dive into the exact questions you can ask to completely change the dynamic and have women thinking about you non-stop. So if you're ready to keep leveling up your game, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and click the video that's popping up on your screen right now. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Let's continue this journey to becoming the high-value man you're meant to be. Thanks for watching.